What's going on, everyone? So we got some more breaking news here, and it's like I was telling people before, that don't want to listen to me, because like I said, they're ignorant. Ubisoft stock drops down 14% now. Reminder: the historian that claimed Yasuke was a samurai is getting his ass beat by all of Japan at the moment. Keep hitting Ubisoft in the junk. Stop buying their games and forced them to rethink DEI. They're one of the largest infected studios. Not only this, but let's go down here. Another one bites the dust, says Grumps. Break-in professor Kenji Hiroyama, a historian enthusiast, not PhD, admits everything about Yasuke is speculation. He wants to believe it but lacks evidence. His favorite tweets reflect the same. In the last 24 hours, mainstream media incorrectly confirmed Yasuke as a samurai. Of course it did. You have a bunch of ignorant people that they wanted to set that off and get them to get distracted and fight amongst each other. It's the same thing that you do in politics. And I have specifically stated this to a lot of ignorant people that are coming on my page saying all this nonsense. It's nothing else that was said before. Just focusing on the mundane and trying to believe and wanting that to be true, and that's the only thing they care about, and they can't see anything else. And they're so easily goated. They're so easily hoodwinked. And you just put it in front of their face and they jump right on it and they cause a ruckus. And then this is all tweeting all over the place. But you don't see this happening right now, right? Because the ignorant people are not saying anything. And the manipulators are not magnifying it. Now let's take a look at this real quick. Furthermore, considering that he served close to Nobunaga and sometimes acted as his tool barrier, it's like I said, he was basically his pet because just saw a colored person and never seen that before, and he just wanted to do that. Not only that, but the Jesuits, like I said, he was coming from them, and those were his owners. He was coming from East Africa, brought here by the Portuguese Jesuits to Japan for a mission. Then when Nobunaga got slain, he went back. It is not unreasonable to think that he was promoted to the samurai class. See, he's saying it's not unreasonable. When looking at historical documents from a bird's eye view, it's better to consider the overall context rather than individual elements. We have the same 2 lines of sheet of paper, right, y'all? And you can find bright minds that don't have any of this stuff that this guy has. I don't even need him to come in my life. We already deducted this a long time ago. You know what I mean? Here comes this petty nonsense and a bunch of morons. And we're all looking at these 2 pages of history. Not much on them, right? Do you really need a whole lot of people to keep looking at the same 2 pages? I mean, I could understand if it was a 400-page historical, book full of so much on the guy, then there may need to be more people to review it. But when you only have 2 pages with not that much information, we're all looking at the same thing and we all can figure that out. You know what I mean? But in today's society, with how many idiots there are, there does need to be stuff like this happening. And I hate to say it, but we all know it's true. But let's go over to this over here. So I'm going to move the camera over a little bit here. We're going to read into this. To begin with, there are so few historical documents that we can only make circumstantial guesses. That's why you need people with high deductive skills too. Professor Hiroyama and I think there is no problem in viewing them as samurai, but of course there are historians who hold the opposite opinion, and there are reasonable arguments on both sides. In short, at this point we cannot say with certainty that Yasuke was definitely a samurai or Yasuke was not a samurai. And going down here, if it is a waist sword, it is possible that it is nakama, non-samurai. So the most important thing is whether it is a tachi or not. Also, we're going to go into the next aspect. He's now facing a huge backlash for making unprofessional mistakes about Yasuke's potential sword, which undermines his entire theory. I guess that's what it is. And his aggressive response to questions has made the Japanese suspicious of such behavior coming from an epidemic. Yeah, it's called a stunt. And getting all that attention. He knew this before that. But at least I respect that other professor, and I respect him coming out and admitting that it's speculation and we don't have actual proof. Of course you don't, because we're reading the same 2 lines that everyone else can read now. Thomas Lockley just ran and didn't answer anything. I respect someone that would at least face that and come out. It's the best way to do it. Face it as soon as possible. Get through it. And be honest. If you messed up, you messed up. It's better to do that. Even if you do lose a little bit of respect, it's way better than running in the long run, because that will only get worse. Now, let's go into this. Let me deduct it for you, as I've told other people. When Nobunaga got killed and Akechi, Misuhide and them were there, they looked over at Yasuke, which, by the way, if he was such a legendary samurai, which of course we obviously know that's all bullshit by Thomas Lockley, he would have defended him and he would have fought. If he would have fought, he would have been killed right there with him. He looked at him because he didn't attack anybody. He watched Nobunaga die. He wasn't a real samurai. This is about whether he was a real samurai, whether he was skilled and acknowledged. He looked at him. Go read the historical documents. He looked at him as a dumb animal who knew nothing and didn't recognize him as a samurai and told him to get off. He ran off back to his slave masters. Now, if you were a samurai and you were that cold, speaking to Western society, because I like to, or that raw, or that epic, you know what I mean, or that legendary, you would have fought with honor to the death. Nobunaga wouldn't have sat there dying like that. He would have been right there in it with him. Somehow he walks out untouched. Yeah, because he didn't fight. He was just sitting there, watching. He was his pet that carried around his stuff. I would like to see somebody challenge that. So, that's permanently, see? Deduction right here. I'm a great detective. So that can be seen, and I know all of Japan agrees with me and realizes that. On top of, no seppuku. None of that. No reason to really realize that he was a samurai, because you're going to fight if you're a samurai. You're not going to back down. He didn't do anything. It's quite clear. Why did Akechi look at him and say, oh, he just knows nothing, get out of here? Because he wasn't striking anyone. Ain't no samurai finna sit there. You're not finna strike them, and you're not finna strike back. He didn't do anything. He was just sitting there. So yeah, we know he wasn't a samurai. Enough of that crap. And like I said, that's a distraction. His history is insignificant to Japan. These people are over-magnifying it, like Thomas Lockley making a 400-page book, and then you got the anime made up. You see, this is just called over-magnify insignificant little nonsense. That's why I said that's all this is. It's people with petty minds. And then you got the petty individuals that want to defend that. And I have to say, once again, look how ignorant and stupid you look doing what you did those past day and a half when you saw that historian say that, and now you're looking dumb again. Like I said, you're ignorant. How many times do we have to go over this? How many times do we have to see this? Over and over and over again. Will you be made a fool out of yourself? I just want to jump the gun real quick and be ignorant and rude to other people without realizing that you are just being fooled. Who is Thomas Lockley targeting? He's not targeting Japanese. He's not targeting liberals because they're in on it. He's not targeting France. Who is he targeting? Who's Hiroyama targeting to say that? Causing up that ruckus with the other people manipulating it. This was all to hope to defend Ubisoft. But man, look at that stock. It is just dropping like a goddamn bomb. And it's just blowing to shit. Why is that happening? Because all of these intelligent leaders are seeing you are just making fools of yourselves. And it's just all going to hell. Pull it all out. You think that's a mistake? You think they're dumb for doing that? They messed up. Everybody knows it. Everybody intelligent knows it. All the elites at the top are pulling the stocks. All the people at Wall Street are pulling the stocks. In Japan are pulling the stocks. Who's the only people that are defending this and they're trying to make a big ruckus out of mediocre nonsense? People with low IQs. People that are not that smart. Dumb people. Ignorant people. It's just a fact. It's a truth. I mean, we see it. You know what I mean? So how many times are you going to keep making yourself look stupid to the world? Wake up. Educate yourself. Be patient. Learn how to play the long term. Learn how to stop overreacting negatively to everything and being ignorant. Learn to grow. Learn to develop. Stop being at the bottom of everything. It's just pretty sad. And look at the bigger picture and listen to people. Learn to be open-minded. So, and this goes for anyone that has that type of mentality and mindset, period. Because this crap just gets out of control. That's why you need to talk with Japan. That's why you need to talk with people. That's why you need to go around and make sure you know what you're talking about before you jump the gun and thinking that you're right when really you just listen to somebody that wants to victimize you or brainwash you. And they're half of the problem and you're half of the problem. I'm not 100% blaming them. No, that's what you want. You're that ignorant. Otherwise, they wouldn't target you. They don't target intelligent people. They target people that think they're stupid. So, and I feel a little bit bad for Africa too, because they're sitting there watching that too, and they're like, you know, you're not even African. You know, you're over there in that society. You're not growing up over here. We're the ones that are being insulted. But Japan is the biggest aspect that is being insulted with the surface disguise of an African, with you know rap beats and all that other garbage and putting a stolen product on them and all of that. That doesn't represent Africa. I can understand African Americans, but it's like, remember, we're in the 15th century here. You know what I mean? And like I said, they were trying to get people distracted by this nonsense. Instead of this guy right here, Hiroyama, coming out along with the other person and realizing, man, so much has been done to disrespect my culture. You obviously don't give a fuck about your culture or Japan. I can tell you were in a communist party. I can tell you support the left wing because you're supporting mediocre nonsense. You didn't even defend your country or find any way to do it. You just focus on this mundane nonsense. So I know who you're working with. You see what I mean? This is called being intelligent and being aware and seeing through nonsense. But dumbasses are not going to see that. Of course not. You just want to defend that. So yeah, I don't have much respect for this guy. The only respect points he got from me is coming out with this other professional, which he should have done by himself, but he needed that guy to team up and admit that this is all speculation. But I can tell you that I don't need you to tell me anything. I can see this myself. He wasn't a samurai. All we got to do is look at that last scene that I just told you, what happened when the building was on fire, where the Ketsumitsu hide in there. If you guys don't know who Ketsumitsu hide is, play some Dynasty Warriors, play some Samurai Warriors, play some Neo, you know what I mean? All the stories are there, you know? It just blows my mind. Look, it's not that hard, right? Akechi Mitsuhide. Here we go, Japanese samurai. Right here, 1582. You see? And like I said, if we go to just type in Dynasty Warriors, we could do any Dynasty Warriors. He rebelled against Nobunaga for unknown reasons in the Honnoji incident in 1582, forcing the unprotected Nobunaga to commit seppuku in Kyoto. Unprotected. You see what I'm saying? You could go to Koei Tecmo's archives. Like, they have amazing history here. You guys should play these games. I may actually do something about these games here. You know, just to show y'all. These games are very, very beefy, though. They take a lot of time. But the point is, Samurai Warrior, Sengoku Musu, Samurai Warriors 4, he's in, like, Dynasty Warriors, Nobunaga's Ambition. I mean, there's so much games on this. And I've played them, you know what I mean? I've been playing Koei Tecmo games for a very long time. All those guys are in there. Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Like, the lore is there. Historically, it's been there. They don't cover Yasuke much at all. Like, he doesn't even really exist. He only has a cameo appearance. So that's about it. Because that's literally how much there is on him. And it's not that important. He didn't do anything. He's not a samurai. So, yeah. Let's get to the bigger picture again. Like I said, what really matters here. Japanese history. With the Japanese history being revised by foreigners in a disrespectful manner. Japanese male being insulted. Not included in his own region in Assassin's Creed. He's not a ninja, and he's not a samurai. A colored person is a samurai, and a female ninja is the ninja. That's very, like, just messed up. It's pretty obvious you have a problem with Japan. Culture theft, disrespect, no sense of coming out and correcting anything. You had this whole time to do it. It has not been done once at all. And then you're just doing this nonsense in the background. It's 100% facts right here in front of our face. White out, disrespectful, and done on purpose and not an accident. And you didn't work with Japan at all. Period. It doesn't exist anywhere. This is an issue with Japan. All this nonsense about whether it was a samurai or not is completely minute. It is literally mundane, and it is a small situation, and it's not much of a matter. It doesn't mean much. Whether even if they proved that he was out of nowhere, and this was actually proved at the beginning, that would have got out the way, and these would have still been the huge issues about how things were done here. This is the problem here. And if you idiots cannot listen and figure that out, I don't know what to tell you. For those that just can't see it. It has to be stated 100 times and you still go back to this. Like, it just blows my mind. So that's why I had to deduct it in front of people so that you could see where I was coming from. That's why I said, listen to me. I guarantee you, when I start doing all these, you guys can follow me for a long time. You're going to see I'm going to have a high accuracy on a ton of things. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm always, most of the time, a high 90% correct. I don't do this to be wrong. Oh no, it's going to be professional. I know what I'm talking about here. So, yeah, listen. And I guarantee you, I'll take you to the right places. But going down here, another No Marcy 1212. No Marcy 1225, another Japanese historian and a friend of Hiroyama, is also trying to present Yasuke as a samurai, but admits it's purely speculative. He acknowledges that other historians have different opinions. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't need them to get involved when we have the documents in front of us and we see that it's only 2 pages and there's not much to read. All you're doing is just speculating. All you need to do is read that scene like I just told you about, and you're going to realize that he wasn't one, because we know what a samurai does. We don't need all this. Like I said, this is all nonsense. You're focusing on nonsense. You still ain't trying to defend your own culture. It's pretty obvious. So, yeah. There's really nothing to prove. That's why a friend of mine called it the devil's proof. Because that's what that is. All right, he said a real scholar's not going to do that. No, they're not. Because we know there's nothing to prove. But we can deduct it and see from that scene, like I told you, what was going to happen. So yeah, that's pretty much it on this. And, you guys can come over here and take a look at this as you want. And, when this happened, that was on the 20th. Now we're on the 22nd. And we have things going about. But like I said, we take a look at this again. 14.04%. There's a lot of pissed off people. So all you people that thought nothing was going to happen, well, look what's going on here. Oh, I know the CEO of Ubisoft is pissed right now. Of course he is. You got to be. All right. My comments are open if y'all have anything to say. If any more ignorant people want to think they have anything, you don't have nothing. You were just trying to write off of this. And then just make blank, empty, soulless statements with no evidence or intelligence about anything. You have nothing to say, really. There you have it. All right, y'all. Peace out. And I don't hate any of y'all. I'm just saying. Stop being ignorant. Peace out, y'all. Y'all have a good day. Good night if you're in Japan. Later, y'all.